our previous classes, we discussed the ideas and the possible classroom activities, their usefulness, their relevance in English language teaching class. Okay. And the reality shows that, or the classroom experience shows that no single approach, no single method could address the classroom reality, because every classroom is diverse. Every classroom is multiple, heterogeneous, complexity is there. Students come from different linguistic backgrounds, from different language backgrounds, from their cultural, from their society norms, values, cultures. They will be from different and diverse background, and they will also have different expectations from the classroom. तिनीहरूको एक्सपेक्टेसन पनि फरक हुन्छ, तिनीहरूको ब्याकग्राउन्ड पनि फरक हुन्छ, तिनीहरूको बायोग्राफी फरक हुन्छ. So classroom of course will be diverse. Classroom becomes heterogeneous. Classroom becomes multiple. Complexity is there. So in this situation, only applying particular approach, particular method want to be very useful, and relevance will not be comprehensive to support each learner's learning process. So in this situation, how do we utilize, how do we employ the knowledge of different approaches and different methods in ELT class? यो कुरा चाहिँ हामीले समराइज गर्नुपर्छ हैन. हामीसँग धेरै एप्रोचेस भयो, धेरै मेथड्स भयो, तर कुनै एप्रोच, कुनै मेथडले एक्ज्याक्ट क्लासरुम सेटिङ, क्लासरुम रियालिटी, क्लासरुम एटमोस्फियरलाई एड्रेस गर्न सक्दैन. यो हामीलाई थाहा छ हैन. तर every method and every approach has something new to offer हैन. केही नयाँ चीज पनि छ, राम्रो चीज पनि छ, but at the same time is not free from problems, is not free from weaknesses. उनीहरुको कमजोरी पनि छ हैन. त्यो भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि what our tacticness, what is our strategy is, we don't limit ourselves, we don't be rigid and strict ourselves within a particular approach and method. So we bring different ideas, we borrow different ideas from different methods as per the needs, then we utilize it in the classroom. हो यो स्टाइलमा चाहिँ हामीले कन्क्लुजन गर्नुपर्छ हैन. हामीले जिटी मेथडको कुरा गर्यौं. In our previous classes we discussed हामीले direct method को कुराहरु गर्यौं, naturalistic learning principles हैन कुरा गर्यौं, listening, speaking, reading, writing, and this is the natural order of skill learning. So oral skills should be focused before written language skills भन्यौं हैन. अनि गएर meaning can be communicated, meaning can be conveyed through demonstration, action. So translation is not necessary भनेर direct method मा आयौं. त्यस्तै गरेर अब भनौं न grammar translation method मा जाँदाखेरि फेरि the ability to communicate in the target language is not the goal of GT method. Reading literature and developing intellectual maturity is the goal भनेर फेरि उता गयौं हामी हैन. त्यसो हो भने so oral language proficiency is not in priority. So written language skills such as reading and writing are emphasized. GT method le feri written language skills like priority dincha हैन. So grammar can be taught inductively. Sentence is the basic unit of teaching and learning. When we translate sentence from one language to another language, then it will be easy to understand target language literature भन्ने कुरा जिटी मेथडले भन्यो हैन यो पनि राम्रै छ यो पनि गरिराखेकै छौं हामीले त्यस्तै गरे हामी total physical response method ma kura garyo हैन total physical response method also by principle this is very nice like learning by doing garere sikne ho हैन garere sikne ho first learners they have to engage physically and mentally they have to use their head they have to use their heart they have to use their hand they have to develop their habit that is what learning so spoken language should be emphasized over written language भनेर यो पनि राम्रै छ हैन a series of commands we give हैन a series of commands stand up sit down हैन open your book do your class work हैन close your book touch your nose, point to the board, point to the fan, and run to the board. This kind of a series of commands we give, and students they listen to the commands, observe the actions, perform the actions, observing, performing actions. They learn language in a sustainable way. ठिकै छ यो पनि राम्रै छ audio lingual method भन्छ फेरि languages are different and they have different structures different patterns if we focus on patterns of different languages then what happens they learn the patterns and language learning becomes effective so memorization drilling and then repetition pattern practice or structure practice these are if we adopt these activities then learning becomes effective language is listening and speaking oral language proficiency short and mastery over learning is short linguistic competence is the desired goal audio lingual method le अब यो सबै कुराहरु आधारमा छन् so we cannot fully depend on particular method and we cannot ignore also हामीले ignore गर्न नि सक्दैन and fully depend गर्न then so in this context by the knowledge of different methods how can we utilize these methods and make our English language teaching classroom live and fresh fun and engagement and all the students taking part communicating learning at their own pace and sharing each other collaborating each other communicating each other learning each other and developing their language proficiency and developing their language foundation and यस्तो कसरी गर्न सकिन्छ होला भनेर त्यो समरी हो यो सबै मेथड्स को एप्रोच को इनसाइट्स we borrow and we make our answer त्यसरी जानु पर्छ यो चाहिँ यसलाई अलिकति सबैको अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ भइसकेपछि यसमा चाहिँ अलिकति ध्यान दिनु पर्छ होला then last time we discussed हामीले ब्रिफली हामीले छलफल पनि गरेका थियौ आज यसमा थोरै छलफल गर्छौं र हामी युनिट 2 मा जान्छौं अर्को 2 मा जान्छौं है त यसमा मैले कसरी राखेको छु भने you have got the idea then on the basis of your understanding about different methods different approaches you can also write your own answer okay your own answer and this is just sample and we'll support you like language teaching method is systematic and orderly presentation of language it is a link between thought and action thought means approach actions means activities or techniques it talks about teacher's role learner's roles and teacher learner interaction what areas of language should be emphasized just like GT le bhancha reading and writing tapaiko audio lingual le bhancha listening and speaking direct method le bhancha listening and speaking total physical response le bhancha receptive listening and reading so what areas should be focused will tell you pani bhancha what areas of language should be emphasized and learning assessment so this is a systematic presentation so talks about these things if we see from history to the present there is long list of teaching methods that came and went each method has something new to offer and also not free from weaknesses. हैन नयाँ चीज पनि छ तर कमजोरी पनि छ. In this situation, we should not and cannot be rigid. We should not and cannot be rigid, strict, and limit our teaching and learning activity. Teaching and learning activity in a particular method. We have to borrow and utilize ideas from different methods as per the needs and as per the classroom needs. We have to borrow and utilize what classroom situation demands or dictates. Demands or dictates. Accordingly, classroom actions or activities should be selected and conducted. The following points will help us understand about the best possible ways of utilizing the ideas of different methods in English language class. यो ब्याकग्राउन्डमा भयो. अब यहाँ लेखिएको छ यो सबै मेथडबाट चाहिँ राम्रो राम्रो कुराहरू लिएर आउनुपर्छ. A variety of communicative tasks and activities should be used to make English classroom fun and engagement, collaborative and communicative, interactive. So communicative tasks and activities should be used. This is one possible way to make English language classroom live and fresh. So second point, learners' native language can be used only when if it is necessary. So the translation every time, this is not necessary. So we should not translate every word and sentence of the target language into learner's native language. So only when situation demand, only when it is necessary, so native language of the learners can be used in a judicious way. So this can be considered. Dialogue practice, pattern practice, drillings, etc. should be used according to the classroom situation. Sometimes learners may have problem to remember the structures of particular dialogue. So pattern practice, drilling at the first may be necessary, and slowly they can practice in a autonomous way. So this can also be done. And use of command-based instructions to direct and control students' behavior. So this is from total physical response method. So we give a series of commands to direct and control students' behavior, and they learn from what involving mentally, physically. So they use their head, heart, hand, and habit. So this is what it is also good. That should be focused in English language class. Focus on contextualization is the process of language teaching and learning. So contextualization, this is very important factor in English language teaching and learning process, because context creates fresh environment to the use of language in the process of learning. So contextualization is important. We should not leave this part. And another one is the use of naturalistic learning principles and activities. Naturalistic learning principles and activities should be used. Focus on receptive skills at lower grades and slowly increase the focus on productive skills at higher grades. When students are, in higher grades, so productive skills like they have to read, they have to speak, they have to write, okay, and because receptive skill, this is what listening and reading. They get a lot of exposure in the lower grades and receive rich language inputs. They create a kind of foundation of language development in the foreign language or target language, and after that they have to grow, they have to develop, they have to stretch their learning through the use of productive skill, that is speaking and writing. This is what naturalistic learning principles suggest. Now, eclectic ways of teaching and learning process should be emphasized. Eclectic ways of this means ideas from different ideas from different different methods should be borrowed and utilized. Method idea लिन सक्छ र युटिलाइज गर्न सक्छ. Seek best fit practice or adaptation of ideas of different methods. Seek best fit practice or adaptation of ideas of different methods than best fit practice or best practice or adaptation. Adaptation भन्दा adaptation भन्दा adaptation लाई जोड दिनु पर्यो हामीले. So we have to seek best fit practice than best practice. And every classroom is diverse. Every classroom is diverse with students related factors. Respect classroom diversity and use activities to enhance diversity. Use the following activities. This is know your students, find out the learning DNA, make learner profile, and design activities accordingly. So final very important concept is this adapt principles of post method pedagogy. Use the principles of post method pedagogy. Here post method pedagogy especially we can understand in 3 parameters, 3 principles. One is particularity. So हामीले चाहिँ लास्टमा अलिकति मेसो आएन भने यो 3टा प्रिन्सिपलमा बसेर कुरा गरे पनि हुन्छ. अहिलेको टिचिङ भनेको यही हो. In modern time, in the present time, so teaching and learning activity, the lesson planning and developing materials, designing activities, assessment process, everything should be guided by these 3 parameters. Particularity हुनु पर्यो, practicality हुनु पर्यो, possibility हुनु पर्यो भन्ने कुरा हो हैन. So teaching should be individuals are different. So one universal method or one universal technique may not be relevant, useful, fruitful to all the students. So individually specific teaching should be for this varied tasks, a variety of tasks should be used. VARIETIES, varieties of tasks, varied tasks, should be used.
Sir, madam, टाइममा चाहिँ हामी आउने प्रयास गर्दै पनि आज म अलिकति ढिलो हुनु पुगेको छु. त्यसको लागि मैले सरी भने. अरु सरहरु अझै हाम्रो आधा साथीहरु अझै जोइन हुनु बाँकी नै हुनुहुन्छ है. भर्ना भएको जति सबैजना साथीहरु पनि जोइन भइसक्नु भएको छैन. सो according to the level of students, those who आज जोइन हुनुभएको साथीहरुलाई अब भोलिका दिनमा चाहिँ अब टाइममा चाहिँ जोइन हुने प्रयास गरौँ. र यो बीचमा साथीहरुसँग के जिज्ञासाहरु छ भने छलफल गरौँ. जस्तो
and fast, they can do what higher level tasks they can do. So varied tasks is necessary to design if really we want to address individual learners' needs. So context sensitive, content sensitive pedagogy should be there. Okay, so context is powerful. If we focus to particular context, particular location, particular context, then what happens? Then teaching becomes effective. So you यसले भन्छ त्यो. So बुझौं, location is specific, context is specific, individual is specific, content is specific. So teaching should be there. Only it becomes effective. Practicality चाहिँ भन्छ यसले चाहिँ. So shift. Yes, I have to shift teaching from knowledge based to skill based. Knowledge based to skill based. अब हामी स्किलमा जाने ज्ञानमा आधारित भन्दा पनि सिपमा आधारित बनाउनु पर्छ हैन सो एभ्री स्टुडेन्ट शुड गेट अपर्च्युनिटी टु प्र्याक्टिस स्किल practically we have to bring outside world inside the classroom. This means inside the classroom we can create a small shopping center at the corner. Then we can imagine the roles as customer and shopkeeper. Then we can practice inside the classroom. This is what bringing outside world inside the classroom. And the content and the content from the outside world can bring inside the classroom. बाहिरी संसारको चाहिँ ज्ञानलाई एक्सपिरियन्सलाई एक्टिभिटीलाई हामीले क्लासरुम भित्र चाहिँ ल्याउनु पर्छ भने हो हैन फर दिस डायलॉग रोल प्ले ड्रामाटाइजेसन simulation these activities you can use so students get opportunity to practice अबको टिचिङ भनेको चाहिँ shift from what knowledge based to skill based मा जानु पर्छ skill based को लागि चाहिँ practical चाहिँ एक्टिभिटी मा जोड दिनु पर्छ भन्ने कुरा नै हो हैन and possibility मा त अब every learners or students has inherent potentialities अन्तर्निहित सम्भावनाहरु क्षमताहरु छ for this research activities, experimentation, innovation, project-based activity should be used. Project-based activities and use then we support to explore the inherent capacity, inherent potentiality of the students. As well as activity or design. So our present, in the modern time, in the current time, so teaching and learning should be, should focus in these three parameters: particularity, practicality, or possibility. In your bio, then teaching is what effective, and this is what according to the need also. So, this is the summary of all the discussions we made in our previous classes. Application part like so if you have any kind of questions now, let's have short discussion about unit 1. Otherwise I will shift in another unit or unit ma janchau हामी अब ल के छ कुरा yes try yes just confirm it response if you have any kind of questions from unit 1 we can have short discussion otherwise we go into unit 2 ma janchau अब हामी text in it let's avoid kati learning DNA means here लेखिदिएको छु नि मैले learning DNA D means desire D means desire so N means need desire need and L means what A means what asset बच्चाको learning DNA check गर्ने हो के learning DNA check गर्ने भनेको उसको इच्छा के छ पत्ता लगाउनु पर्यो what they want to know or what they want to learn what their desire is from English class the desire के हो इच्छा के उनीहरुको and need के हो इच्छा त थाहा भयो अब need चाहिँ के हो आवश्यकता चाहिँ के हो इच्छा आवश्यकता दुईटै पहिचान भयो अब उसले के चाहिँ गर्न सक्छ उसको सफलता के हो what is the asset भनेको उसको strong point what is the strong point desire we understand need also we understand asset strong point also we understand then what happens my students they desire to learn this they need this kind of support and they have this kind of strong point, positive point. Now I support like this भनेर तपाईको प्लानिङ गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ. लर्निङ डिजाइन भनेको डिजायर, नीड एन्ड एसेट हो है. Confused about post method pedagogy भन्नुभएको छ. साथीहरुले च्याट बक्समा लेखिदिनुस् त. What do you understand? What do you mean by post method pedagogy? What do you understand? Post method pedagogy. One of you has written, I confused in post method pedagogy. What is post method pedagogy? Yes, I have also confusion about post method. Okay. Sure. Cannot summarize the whole unit for today. Most of us are very new in these topics. Okay. Yes, confusion. अगला post method pedagogy लाई चाहिँ म तपाईलाई यसरी बताउँछु त्यसो बेला. Okay. If you want to help your friends who are new in this post method pedagogy and want to know more, you can give your ideas, you can share your ideas. Then if you want to speak, then we provide you opportunity to speak. ल कोही बोल्न चाहनुहुन्छ? What is this post method pedagogy? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yes, not single method applied, but combination of merits of every method as per the situational context. Okay. Yes. Avishar jao. Post method pedagogy. After this, borrowing ideas from different methods you have written. That's fine. Post method pedagogy is a method which accept all methods, techniques, activities to teach students. Okay. Now for this one book, this is useful. एउटा किताब चाहिँ पढ्नु होला. It is a link between thought and ideas. Okay. Simply, one book that is Arts and Rogers book is yes, whereas Karan Singh Bora has raised hand. Okay, Karan. Yes, you can unmute. Karan.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, could you say something about post method pedagogy, because some of your friends still need support?
This method is especially developed by Kumara Vedavelu, and this method does not take any method as a complete one, and teachers should be tricky, and teachers can choose any method which is applicable in the classroom situation and the need of the class. And you have already said that 3P are applied there. Practicality, possibility, and another one you put ahead that, sir. 3P are applied, and teachers should go according to the situation and the need of the classroom.
Yes. Teachers should be alert about the classroom, situation, classroom needs, and accordingly, should select and design and conduct activities. So should not limit and should not, confine within a particular method.
Method.
That's good. That's good. Okay, thank you for your wonderful ideas, because your friends might have got some ideas. Thank you. Now, may I request you to mute yourself?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, if you want to get more ideas about post method pedagogy, just I would like to refer you to read one book. To read one book that is he said also Kumara Bedevelu, that originally developed the concept. And in other books also we get this idea. Okay, now I will share some ideas about it, then I will conclude. Right? ला कसरी बुझ्न पर्यो भने मैले एउटा किताब पनि देखाउँछु अहिले ल हेर्नुस् the reality के भने many methods came and went, came and went from practice. आए गए कति आए गए the process of developing new method also continued. नयाँ method आए. As a result, what is there is long list of language teaching method, language teaching methods. Every method has something new to offer, and also not free from weaknesses. Something new to offer and also not free from weaknesses. त्यसपछि scholars scholars came to understand that came to the conclusion अब निष्कर्षमा के भयो भने एकपछि अर्को मेथड भन्दै जाने होइन so we don't go on searching, seeking another method in the future, because no single method could address the classroom reality. Kuनै single method गर्दैन. Every method has something new to offer, as well as not free from the weaknesses. So what is the conclusion is scholars came to the conclusion that निष्कर्षमा आए कि हैन. Now instead of looking for new method, we have to think about alternative to method. विकल्पै सोच्नु पर्यो के मेथडको विकल्पै सोच्नु पर्यो. GT method, grammar translation method, direct method, audio-lingual method. There are many methods can be, but no single method could address the classroom reality. So we have to seek, we have to search. Now we have to discuss to alternative to method. Method के विकल्प सोच्नु पर्यो. हामीले एकपछि अर्को मेथड होइन कि मेथडकै विकल्प खोजौँ अब भनेर बस चल्यो होइन. Scholars came to the conclusion that instead of looking for new method, we have to think about alternative to method. मेथडको विकल्पमा के ल्याउने त भनेर कन्सेप्ट आयो. Result is what? Result is post method pedagogy. Post method pedagogy. अब त्यो भन्दा beyond the level of method, we have to go and we have to think to make classroom, live and what fresh. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ what we have to go beyond the method. यो मेथड भन्दा टाढा गएर पछाडी गएर हामी हेर्नुपर्छ एउटा मेथडबाट अर्को मेथडले यो अब यो प्रक्रियालाई स्टप गरौँ. द कन्सेप्ट अफ मेथड इज डेड भन्ने पनि आयो हैन. डेड मरिसक्यो. अब यो सिंगल मेथड काम छैन हैन. Now let's go beyond the classroom. According to the classroom situation, teachers can borrow the ideas from different sources and can utilize in the classroom and make fresh and live and students what they learn effectively. त्यो कन्सेप्टबाट गयो हैन. यसले भन्न मात्र खोजेको हो टीचर इज व्हाट पावरफुल. Teacher is powerful. Teacher can can bring many ideas into the practice. They can theorize what they practice and practice what they theorize. भन्ने चाहिँ हो के teacher is powerful हैन, knowledgeable हैन. Teacher is powerful. Teacher can practice his or her own ideas. And teacher can theorize. Teacher can theorize what teachers can theorize what practice they do and practice what they have theorized. Once again, theorize. Theorize what you practice what you theorize. Teacher लाई नै पावरफुल बनाउनु खोज्छ के यसले चाहिँ. किनभने विज्ञता भनेको कुरा कतै बाहिरबाट किनेर ल्याउने होइन. Expertise does not come from abroad. Expertise, knowledge, idea does not come from abroad. बाहिरबाट आउने चिज हैन. We have to develop, we have to generate, we have to construct according to our local knowledge. हामीसँग भएको नलेजबाटै चाहिँ गर्ने हो. हाम्रो परिवेशलाई फिट हुने नलेज हामीसँगै छ. So we have to develop, we have to theorize the theory or the method according to our what local knowledge. So theorize what you practice what you theorize भन्ने कन्सेप्टबाट आयो. Theorize theorize what you practice. के practice गर्नुहुन्छ त्यसलाई theory बनाउनुस् हैन. And practice र फेरि त्यसैलाई practice बनाउनुस्. Practice what you theorize हैन. हो यो कन्सेप्टले चाहिँ रिभोल्युसन ल्यायो के. Theorize what you practice what you theorize. आफूले गरेको नयाँ प्र्याक्टिस छ नि त्यो प्र्याक्टिसलाई एउटा थ्योरी जस्तो बनाउनुस्. त्यही थ्योरीलाई प्र्याक्टिसमा लानुस् भने हो के. टिचरलाई नै पावरफुल बनायो. टिचर इज एभ्रिथिङ. सो टिचर डज नट डिपेन्ड इन अ पर्टिकुलर मेथड, particular approach. So according to the need of the classroom, can borrow ideas from different sources and can make his or her own theory, and that theory will be implemented into the real classroom. यसले भन्छ त्यो भन्दाखेरि के कसरी गर्ने त त्यो भन्दाखेरि उही अघिको तीनटा प्यारामिटर्स आउँछ. पर्टिकुलारिटी हुनु पर्यो, पर्टिकुलर हुनु पर्यो हैन. पर्टिकुलारिटी व्यक्ति विशेष, ठाउँ विशेष हैन, आवश्यकता अनुसारको टिचिङ हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरामा आयो हैन. अर्को भनेको तपाईको प्र्याक्टिकलिटी, व्यवहारिक हुनु पर्यो. नलेज बेस्ड टिचिङबाट स्किल बेस्ड टिचिङमा जानु पर्यो. एन्ड पोसिबिलिटी, every student, every learner has the possibility, inherent possibility that explore गर्नको लागि एक्टिभिटी डिजाइन गर. त्यसो भयो भने we should not depend on a particular method. हामी कुनै पर्टिकुलर मेथड भनेर जानु पर्दैन भन्ने कुरा आउँछ. दिस इज ओके थ्याङ्क यू. अझ आइडिया पाउनु भयो कि पाउनु भएन? ओके, मे आई शिफ्ट unit 2. Beyond the method. So this is post. Beyond the method भन्दा क्रस गरेर गयो हैन. Because of this it is post method. Okay, now this यो नोट चाहिँ म आज पठाइदिन्छु है ल ओके we start unit 2. Unit 2 is about teaching language skills and language aspects. This is not new, directly, indirectly, related to our previous discussion. Just to be informed. Your question हेर्दै गर्नुस् त यसमा this is model question. Okay. Now first we discuss this briefly, then we go ahead. Okay. In this model question developed by Teacher Service Commission, the first question is about speaking. This is about speaking. Teaching speaking is a challenging job for basic level English language learners. You have to teach speaking skill to grade 6 students. How do you teach speaking skills creatively? Develop lesson plan to teach speaking skill for grade 6 students. Okay, this kind of question, may I ask, this is a sample question, model question developed by TSC. Here, not new idea, familiar. We can write, how do you teach, speaking skills creatively? Okay, we can use games. We can use, songs, rhyme, chants. We can use, pictures. We can use role play. We can use, dialogues. We can use information gap activities. We can use, dramatization technique. So many, activities we can use to develop speaking skills in students, okay, and develop lesson plan to teach speaking skills for grade 6 students. This is not difficult for you if you understand the procedures, how to apply, how to implement, games, how to implement, pictures, how to implement, songs, rhyme, chants, how to implement role play. We can, prepare lesson plan. Just class is grade 6. Teaching item is speaking skill. Objective you write, and you write necessary teaching material, and you go to the teaching learning activities. In teaching learning activities, you can follow particular methods or particular you can follow particular framework like PPP model or ABC model or any or with directly also you can write teacher's role, student's role, and T table you prepare. In first column you write teacher's role, second column student's role. Teacher starts class like this, organize these activities, uses these materials, students they engage, they speak, they collaborate, they negotiate. Like this you can prepare lesson plan. In this way, हामी गर्न सकिन्छ. यो प्र्याक्टिस गर्नु होला, डिफिकल्ट छैन. बीच बीचमा यसको आन्सर पनि लेखाउनु होला, ठिकै छ हैन. त्यस्तो भयो भने this is what from unit 2 बाट छ हैन. युनिट फर्स्ट बाट हैन छ. यहाँ सबै 10 वटा क्वेशन छ हैन. स्याम्पल क्वेशन ती तीनटा राखेको छ हैन. प्रोफेसनल डेभलपमेन्ट बाट छ, आईसीटी बाट छ र युनिट 2 बाट छ हैन. ओके, And this is just to be familiar with the model questions prepared by TSC. Now go to the, yes, let's see. Unit 2 भनेको तपाईको कस्तो हो भने, again I want to show you next. पहिला कन्टेन्ट्समा परिचित हौँ है त पहिला. Yes. So unit 1 we have done. Then come to the unit 2. In unit 2 we have 5 different headings. This is very broad. यो एकदम broad छ किनभने whole English language teaching is here. Functions, skills and aspects are here. What do you mean by English language teaching? English language teaching means teaching 4 language skills and teaching 4 language aspects. भनेर भनिरहेको छ हामीले. भनेपछि यो whole teaching English language हैन यहाँ छ teaching 4 skills, teaching 4 aspects, like 2.4 and 2.5 teaching receptive skills and teaching productive skills भन्ने बित्तिकै listening, speaking, reading, writing are here, 4 skills are here. And 2.3 is what teaching pronunciation, grammar and vocabulary. हामीले चारवटा aspect बनाएको थियौं, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation and language function. Language function is 1.1 and 1.2. So overall this unit is about what? Teaching 4 skills and 4 aspects भनेर बुझ्नु पर्यो. त्यही भएर यहाँ चाहिँ हामीले कसरी बुझ्नु पर्यो भने okay, here what do you teach in English language class? यो क्वेशन भयो, के पढाउनुहुन्छ इंग्लिश ल्याङ्ग्वेज क्लासमा हैन? यसको आन्सर के आउने भयो? We teach 4 language skills and 4 language aspects. You content हो क्या? English language. What do you teach in English class? के पढाउनुहुन्छ हैन? We teach or I teach 4 language skills: listening, speaking, reading, writing, and 4 aspects: grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and language skills. Any plan, any activity should fall either one or another aspect, one or another part of or area of English language. These are what areas. अथवा यहाँ नि सोध्न सक्छ अर्को क्वेशन हैन? What areas of language? What areas of language do you teach in English class? In English class कुन एरियालाई तपाईले जोड दिनुहुन्छ भनेपछि I teach, फेरि यही आउँछ, I teach 4 skills and 4 aspects and ASPECT aspects. Again you can have another question: what are the essentials of English language teaching? English language basic कुराहरु के हो त English language teaching को भन्दाखेरि फेरि आउँछ the essentials of English language teaching are 4 skills and 4 aspects. यसरी जाने हो हैन? 4 aspects. So अब यसलाई हामीले के बुझ्नु पर्यो भने overall what do you mean by English language teaching or what do you teach in English language भन्दाखेरि पनि 4 skills and 4 aspects. What areas of language do you teach in English language class? यो भने पनि what areas भन्ने बित्तिकै 4 skills and 4 aspects आइहाल्छ. What are the essentials of English language teaching? के हो त्यो essential very basic हैन components के हो भने नि त्यही 4 skills and 4 aspects आउँछ हैन? So this is about unit 2. This is about unit युनिट 2 मा हामीले यो कुराहरु गरिन्छ हैन so now we start from function बाट सुरु भएको छ र function को क्वेशन प्रिभियस इयर्स को क्वेशनहरु हेरौं एकचोटी हैन पहिले पहिले कस्तो क्वेशनहरु सोधेको छ देन we discuss okay now let's see question number 1 this question was asked in 2017 every language teaching should be communicative okay हामीले अप्रोचहरु पढेर आइसकेका छौं मेथडहरु पढेर आइसकेका छौं अब त्यो now we have to utilize the ideas of different approaches and methods in teaching listening in teaching writing in teaching speaking in teaching reading in teaching function in teaching grammar in teaching vocabulary pronunciation यहाँ ल्याउने त्यो कन्सेप्टलाई so every language teaching should be communicative keeping this in mind design an activity for teaching prepositions to the lower level students or lower secondary level students अब यहाँ चाहिँ के गर्नु पर्यो भने this is based on communicative approach हैन communicative approach ma based on pura euta kura haina then we have to design what one activity or two activity bhanla haina activity we have to design euta part arko part what is the focus area is grammar under grammar also preposition okay यहाँ चाहिँ यसरी जान पर्यो grammar pronunciation vocabulary language function listening speaking reading writing how do we teach according to communicative approach communicative approach चाहिँ कसरी पढाइन्छ त्यो एउटा भिजन राख्नु पर्यो हैन and question number 2 discuss with examples the elements that determine different exponents of language function also mention 5 exponents in the case of requesting someone to open the door यसमा हामीले हेर्ने भनेको so we have to be familiar with some basic concepts here like language function we should be familiar language function greeting welcoming taking leave asking question asking for permission making confirmation likes and dislikes so making plans and intention these are what these are different language functions chhan bhaner bujhnu paryo one second is what then they have exponents they have expressions they have forms the exponents bujhnu paryo for example hello I am Raju bhane this is the exponent of greeting greeting and introducing also hi how are you greeting I'm Raju Shrestha what's your name introducing this kind of an exponents we have to remember one thing function we have to remember exponent we have to remember then elements of different language function bhanecha exponent bhanecha yo there are some elements kei element haru cha that determine the exponent हामी यो फिगर गरेर देखाउँ मैले तपाईहरुलाई so elements of exponent for example बुझ्नको अलि टेक्निकल छ could you please open the door could you please open the door this is one example of exponent this is exponent for example function is what function is requesting function is requesting possible exponent is what could you please open the door अब हामीलाई चाहियो element of elements of exponent हो यो could you please यो छ नि could you please open the door हो यो प्रोड्युस गर्दाखेरि यो भन्दाखेरि यसलाई युज गर्दाखेरि कुन एलिमेन्टहरुलाई कन्सिडर गर्नुपर्छ भने हो कि यसले भन्छ सिचुएसन we have to check सिचुएसन कहाँ भन्ने हो we have to see the function कुन फंक्शन को लागि भन्ने हो then we have to consider the notion भन्छ notions भनेको यो के हो भने linguistic code भनौं न कोड भनेको तपाईको सेन्टेन्स वर्ड स्ट्रक्चरहरु नाउन भर्ब एडभर्ब एडजेक्टिभ्सहरु यस्तो युज गर्छौं नि त्यसलाई हामी कोड अथवा नोसन भन्ने बुझौं सिचुएसन फंक्सन एन्ड द नोसन these are the elements of exponents पल्ल यो could you please open the door भन्न सक्छौं so we have to consider the situation where what is the environment formal informal this kind of environment we consider then which function should be used to express that purpose requesting under requesting then what are the notions what are the sentence pattern or the words that we have to use यसरी चाहिँ यो क्वेशनले मागेको चाहिँ यो हो question number 2 Question number 3, could you open the window, please? What language function does this sentence serve? Design at least 5 activities to teach the above mentioned function for the grade 8 students. Yesto question in answer. Exponent dincha, function will be asked, and design activities to deliver that function. And then function will be given, exponents will be asked. Their question है हामीले पढ्दाखेरि चाहिँ तयारी गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ दुई तीनटा पार्टबाट हेर्नुपर्छ यसमा चाहिँ function will be given, function दिन्छ, and exponents will be asked. Exponents will be asked. एउटा भनेको के हो, function will be given, function दिन्छ, exponent सोध्छ. अर्को भनेको exponent will be given, exponent will be given, exponent दिन्छ, and function will be asked. So यो function के हो भनेर सोध्छ फेरि, function will be asked. हैन, like function will be asked. यो दुईटा प्याटर्न एकदमै रिपिट भइरहेछ अहिलेसम्म. र अर्को भनेको एक्टिभिटीज त भइहाल्यो, कम्युनिकेटिभ एक्टिभिटीज टु डिजाइन भन्छ नि, डिजाइन एनी 5 एक्टिभिटीज, कम्युनिकेटिभ कम्युनिकेटिभ टास्क एन्ड एक्टिभिटीज. टास्क एन्ड एक्टिभिटीजमा फरक छ, हामीले छलफल गरिसक्यौँ हैन, इन द टास्क बेस्ड अप्रोचमा. सो यति तीनटा पार्टबाट हेर्नुपर्छ हामीले यो ल्याङ्ग्वेज फङ्सनलाई हेर्दाखेरि. ओके, सो के रहेछ, फङ्सन विल बी गिभन, एक्सपोनेन्ट्स विल बी आस्क्ड हैन. लाइक यु नो, जस्ट एक्जाम्पल, फङ्सन भन्ने बित्तिकै तपाईँको सजेस्टिङ दिन्छ, एन्ड वाट आर द पोसिबल एक्सपोनेन्ट भनिदिन्छ. What are the exponents? What are the possible exponents of suggesting one system? यसमा exponent दिन्छ. For example, may I go out भन्यो. Now what function? कुन function हो यो सोध्छ हैन. अब डिजाइन भन्छ हैन, यसमा चाहिँ अब यो त एक्टिभिटीमा आइहाल्ने भयो हैन. To deliver that particular function, what activities, to deliver a particular function, what activities do we employ? In this way, EMPLO. In this way, we have to prepare language function. Function part ma chahi हामी यति कुराहरु हेर्नु पर्छ है. Then here I have my preparation like this. यहाँ तल छ हैन. Activities are also given. So in our next class we continue this. है ल अब प्राइमरी को सुरु हुन लाग्यो है.